And draft. Let's go.
West End Draft, let's go. The man, the myth, the legend, who is still alive. This is the only guest that I've actually been worried about his safety.
Only barely just back, brother.
How long ago was that incident?
Well, after we spoke last time, we were just waiting for that suit to arrive. So a couple of weeks later, after that, suit arrives, all good. Get to the drop zone, by myself there, none of the crew. So I was like, cool, I'll just get a few warm-ups on this suit. Everything will be all good to go. Go out for a solo jump. Everything went well. The jump was great. But because these suits are so high performance.
I got the video here.
Yeah, sweet.
I got it up. But
so
yeah, continue.
There's a certain way that you have to deploy these suits because they're so inflated. So as I'm coming through, like trying to flare out in this suit, I do a really shit effort of shutting everything down and throwing the pilot chute. As soon as I throw that pilot chute, it just starts to go a bit of a mayhem. So as soon as it comes out the bag, it's all twisted, ready to go, and just instantly puts me into a high-speed malfunction. So instantly it just starts spiraling out of control. And usually you've got a little bit of time where you just can grab onto the risers, which is where it connects to the parachute, start to twist them down, and ideally you can twist all those.
And they'll
start to bring those twists down, and that's when you can start to kick out. But by the time you're in a wingsuit, you got to pull your arms out, unzip the zippers. So by the time that's all happened, I'm already in a full high-speed flat spin. So by the time that happens, I'm just trying to work shit out, but I'm just spinning so quick. All the risers are just so tight. The lines are tight. Try and twist everything out, but it's just like I've pretty much instantly knew that it was not going to be my day.
Did you think it was going to fucking die?
No, not really. Like, I've done over 3,500 jumps now, and in that time, I've only ever had 2 malfunctions, right? Like, ones that I had to cut away from. So as soon as this one happened, I'm trying to get out of it. I knew it was pretty futile that it wasn't going to come out. And if you see when you watch the video, the whole time as I'm spinning, I keep checking my altimeter, which is a device we have on our wrist to check the height. So I flare out about 4,000 feet, start the deployment process. As soon as I pitch, it was a shit show. And by then it just started spinning and just losing altitude very fast. So when I'm trying to get out of it, keep checking the altitude, and it's just dropping so quick. So by the time I get to about 2,500 feet, we have what's called a hard deck. At that point in time, if I don't have a full canopy over my head, I have to start my emergency procedures and had to get off it. So it's not a major problem to have a malfunction, but the fact that this was spinning so quick on my back, and especially in the wingsuit, has so much surface area. As soon as I cut away, I kind of flip onto my back and then almost flip out of control. So as that reserve comes out, I'm on my back. So the reserve bridle comes off my back, comes up around my neck. And if I did one more flip from my back to my belly and had that bridle wrap around my neck, that probably could have been the last jump that I was going to do.
Some say, fuck. What's the feeling like? Because of it, so you obviously would have had to use your secondary parachute.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
How much faith, how much are you fucking praying that thing just fucking just works?
It's
work.
Just
procedure. It's just procedure to you.
Yeah.
So, but I'll put the video on because I haven't really watched the video. I wanted to wait to today. You sent it to me yesterday, but I just was watching the start and I was like, this is wild.
So right here, I'm starting to flare. So you need to do a big flare to try and shut down some of the airspeed. So when I throw it there, it's just the shittest pilot chute throw ever. It didn't get any clean air, so it didn't pull out my parachute into a clean air. So as soon as it grabs some air, it just puts me in this absolute shit spot, death spin.
Christ. How fast, do you know how fast you were going at that point?
Not really, because I'm still under a big canopy. So vertically, I'm not going that quick. But like I said, I deploy it probably about 4,000 feet, and then I cut off at maybe 2. So I don't know how long this process takes, but it's probably within 30 seconds I've lost 2,000 feet of altitude. So once you get to 2, you're in a real shit zone, right? So because it just happens real naturally there, as it comes up around my neck, I threw my reserve handle. So
it's figured itself out. So you figured it out now. Now you're safe.
Now I'm all sweet. But usually you've got 2 handles, and when you pull those handles, like they're detachable, so that's still into my hand. So usually if you don't land with your handles, like you're a big time loser. So you hold on to those handles. But because I had to get that bridle off my neck, I threw my reserve handle, grabbed that bridle, cleared it, and then like as I'm flying. So when I'm flying, I like check down, I was like, oh cool, yep, I've definitely deployed all my handles. I don't have my handle in my hand anymore, like I've lost that. And we had a big event that I said, that big revive boogie, like the weekend.
Was that good?
It was epic. Yeah, it was real good. We had a bit of shit weather, but for most of it was awesome. Had a real good time. But I'd lost that handle with the reserve handle. So when I got down, everything was all sweet. The boys come and picked me up. I need that handle so I can get that reserve chute repacked. So I'm walking through the paddocks for like, I think I spent like 4 hours out in the paddock, just like doing a turkey, like one by one, just walk up, walk down, walk up, walk down, like just searching through these farmers' paddock for about 4 hours, because without that reserve handle, I can't get that reserve packed. So after about 4 hours, I get online and I call the main dealer that, you know, sells all these products and stuff, and I call him up Friday at like 5 o'clock, you know, hey man, I've just had a malfunction. I've lost my handles. We have a massive event next weekend. Do you have a reserve handle for this container, this parachute? Oh, by the way, we have an event next weekend. I need you to find one. I need you to express post it. You need to send it to my reserve packer, Vernon, straight to his house, because I need it packed, ready to go.
So you don't pack your own
in
reserves?
like 3 days. No, not the reserves. I don't. You have to have a special like a
license.
Yeah, you have to have a license
because that's like it needs to work.
It needs to work. Yeah. So I understand the process, because the way they pack a reserve is the same way we pack a base jumping rig, right? So a normal parachute takes me about 10 minutes to pack, where a reserve takes about 4 hours.
Really? Because it's just meticulous.
Just meticulous. Every fold, every line, everything needs to be perfect. It's the same way I kind of pack a base jumping rig, where a skydive takes me 10 and a base rig might take me 45 minutes. But a reserve just has so much extra.
This is why I'd be fucking terrible at doing what you do, bro, because I'd just stuff that motherfucker in and hope for the best.
Well, my main I kind of do, because you've always got that second chance, you know, up your sleeve. And because once you've done it, like I said, 3,500 jumps, but I've probably done, because I pack students' rigs, I pack tandems, you know, like 3,500 jumps, but I've probably done 5,000 pack jobs in that time as well, so.
And you invited me to that boogie as well, knowing you had a fucking failure like 2 days before.
But like solo and tandem, I need to express this as like totally different things, you know, like, you know.
And then I was like, I remember I inboxed you when I seen it, I was like, it looked like you had fun. It looked really fun.
You said to me, was that really fun? I said, it was kind of exhausting, though.
Then you sent me this.
Fuck yeah! First jump on the suit. Well, probably could have went better.
Probably could have went better, sorry.
Yeah! First jump on the suit. Well, probably could have went better, I suppose.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's my reserve.
Do you like? Did that deter you at all? Like, is it so? Who? You when you messaged me, I thought your wingsuit failed.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought, oh my god, it had like a little hole in it or something. So I didn't realise like that, because that would be a lot less forgiving.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you're fucked then.
Yeah, I would have been pissed off. Like my sponsor spent $5,000 on a suit that didn't work.
Shout out to the sponsor as well.
Shout out to the sponsor for sure.
Are you gonna actively try and use it? So are you off to overseas this year, end of this year, early next year?
Like next year will be the go. So when I told you last time, I was like, oh, forget the suit in time and I can do enough jumps. I'm going to head back over and do probably my first wingsuit base jump. But after this happened, the suit's like so high performance. We just had such a bad run of weather here in SA. Well, everyone copped that big weather zone, you know, like for a while I could judge what was going to happen in the seasons for the weather. And it seemed like everything was a month behind. But now it's like I can't even pick the seasons, the weather.
So you would follow the weather a lot more than the average person.
Yeah.
Do you feel, because I remember back in the day, Adelaide had very perfectly seasonal weather.
Yeah.
In autumn, it was autumn. In summer, it was fucking summer. And in winter, it was winter, but it was still nice. And then in spring, it was fucking spring. Like, that's just how it was.
For sure.
But now we got more like Victorian weather.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere.
I cannot pick it. Like I said,
it's cold, bro. Like, I'm fucking cold right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Adelaide feels colder.
Yeah, for sure.
That like the weather, the seasons are changing.
Yeah. I don't know about this global fucking
I don't know about
nothing,
any of that, but the seasons they're like shifting a bit. Like,
for sure.
You could almost put them forward a month or back a month.
Back a month. It was the whole season, 1 month behind. So what I would usually expect in, X month was a whole month behind, but it was still working to what I could expect, and I could plan it. I could work for events and jumps and tandems. So like I could work at what it was going to be. But the last 2 months, I'm like, fuck knows.
When's the next boogie?
Nothing's booked at this point in time for Adelaide, because even though we had that revive and it was dope, well, we still just copped so much shit weather, man.
Do you need to pay to enter it, like to go there?
Yeah, so you pay like a registration.
And what is it, like a camping site?
No, it's just mainly to pay for, because we get a plane over from the East State, so...
Oh, I mean, like say you go to, how long do they last? For anyone who doesn't know as well, boogie is like a meetup for skydivers.
Yeah.
It's a festival.
Yeah, it's a little jump fest.
So, but like, is it over the course of like 3 days, 2 days, or?
Probably like 5 days of jumping and then party night. So the event will probably go for like a week, 5 days of jumping, and then the last day is party night, and then just,
So what we do, you fucking whisper in the right people's ears, and you're like, let Sav come for free the last 2 days on the jump night and the party night. I'll bring a professional videographer.
Yeah.
And we'll make a video.
Well, the best thing is about these events, because everyone's doing some of the best jumps of their life, and they've spent a year or two leading up to it, training, spending so much money.
Because you're showing off to other skydivers.
For sure, but we get a proper videographer and we get proper camera flyers. Right? There's some dudes that are so good at skydiving, they've maxed out all their skills, and then they start to become camera flyers. So they're the best flyers on the load. So everyone's doing the best tricks that they can do.
And they're following them.
And then the camera flies just flying all the way around, doing flips and just making us look awesome. And then we have a proper videographer like at the end of the day. So all day when you do the best jumps, you run into the camera room, give him your SD card with the best jumps that you've done all day. So the whole day from morning till night time, he's making a dub of a video edit. So then at the end of the night, everyone's finished jumping, the bar opens, everyone's on the beers. We have like a big sort of like, seminar. Everyone's sitting around talking about what was good about the day, what was shit, what we're going to do for the next day. And at the end of that, the videographer comes through with his video edit for the day. And that's the best thing about it, like the day tape. So the day tape is what everyone sits for. So every single jumper, there might be 150 people in the same room. The day tape goes on, everyone's deep on the beers, and a big massive projector screen shows the best of the best from the whole entire day.
That's sick.
And it's the best thing about a whole boogie, because everyone's just sitting there just going, there's fucking me, we're going off, bro. And
is there many like non-skydivers there?
Like friends and family and stuff sort of come and stuff. And sometimes the one we had at Revive, the dude who did the videos had never been to a skydiving event before, right? So he was just one of the dudes from around the place that was just had so many skills. He was the best one that we were going to pick to do the video edits. And it was so good because we go in there and we show him all the videos from the day, and he was just frothing. He's like, what the fuck? How do you guys do all this sort of stuff? So it was super nice for him to see something that he's never seen before, and then try and project that onto the screen to make a nice video for it. It was cool. It was a different aspect, because usually it's like skydivers do the footing, skydivers do the edit, so it's the perspective of a skydiver to put on there. So this time I had a dude that hadn't seen it before, so he did his own little take on it and stuff. It was kind of cool.
That's fucking sick. And so this year, when you go overseas, but actually that'd be sick to go to one, but it'd be dope to take my own videographer to do like almost like a vlog like I did in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then obviously the after party, because I reckon the after party would probably get a bit loosey-goosey.
Right up your alley, I reckon.
Oh, bro, fucking yeah. But so when you go to Europe, are you going to Europe this next year?
So I'll be back to next year, yeah, for sure, 100%.
Are you going like anywhere new?
Probably not new, because there's a few newer jumpers from SA who are at the point where they're ready to do their first base jumps. So some of these guys that we've been slowly mentoring over the last year or two, they've come out on a few of our jumps around the place, you know. So we need to make sure they're going to show commitment before we're willing to teach them. Right?
How do you like? That's a very good good segue. But like, how do you, when a kid comes up to you and they're like, okay, I want to do wingsuiting. That is probably the most extreme form of sport you can do. Besides like really sketchy mountain climbing or free soloing, I feel like wingsuiting is probably the most. It's not like it's very likely that you'll die if you don't follow procedure and if your heart's not in it. Like I feel like to wingsuit, you have to be 100% in. You cannot be 99. You can't be 98. You can't even you know what I mean. You can't be 99.5. You have to be 100% in, because that 0.005% that's not in will kill you.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, so how do you approach a kid coming up to you and asking like, I need
to remind you and the listeners that skydive wingsuiting is a progression from, into the skydive. But skydive wingsuiting is just part of the process. And we have a rule that no one can wingsuit skydive until they have 200 skydives.
Yeah.
And before that process, I kind of take them under their wing, because I specialize in what's called like angle flying, which is like kind of the body position you would assume wingsuiters are flying, but without the suit. So if someone shows me any interest that they want to do that and talks to the professional wingsuit jumpers at my DZ, they'll kind of handball them to me for a while, and I'll give them a process to go for. We're going to go for some baby angles, some intermediate, and then some real gnarly angle flying, which is just that position kind of thing, but without wearing a suit whatsoever. And then we take them on to like a two-piece, like a classic tracking suit, which is like a rain jacket that inflates, and I'll take them for like a fair few jumps on that, and then they can move on to the wingsuiting. So wingsuit skydiving is definitely a process and seems pretty gnarly, but the gnarly thing that people all see online is the wingsuit base jumping, right? So skydiving and base are very different, right?
Yeah. So base jumping's fucking. But I love like when it's good, bro. It's so it's the equivalent of free solo. It's the equivalent. It's the same. To me, you're just as fucking psycho.
For sure. So when someone comes and asks me about that wingsuit progression, they themselves are not even in a position where they even understand what wingsuit base jumping is, because that's so far in the future that no one even thinks that they're going to be in that sort of realm when they start thinking about it, So there's people that I will train through angle flying, and then I'll show them how to use a tracking suit, and then I'll pass them off to some of the experienced wingsuit pilots in SA in my DZ, because there's a lot of people that specialize just in wingsuit flying, skydiving, right? And then them guys who become real professional wingsuit skydivers, they're also base jumpers in the back scene. And then after years and years and years of base jumping, then they'll put a wingsuit on in the base environment. So it's very different from wingsuit skydiving to wingsuit base jumping. They're two very, very different things. So
you've wingsuit base jumped though?
I have not.
You have not yet?
I have not still to this date. So
is that something you're working towards?
That's what I'm working towards. That's the ultimate goal of life, So that's my tick that off, and I'm already
in real simple terms, because 99.9% of my, or even 99% of my audience still won't kind of grasp the difference between them. Can you break it down in real simple terms of someone that would have never have even skydived, the difference between base jumping and normal skydive wingsuiting?
For sure. So when I started skydiving, I was like, I never had the ultimate dream or even knew what base jumping was, right? So base stands for building, antenna, span, and earth, right? So it's an acronym for those things. And I'd already skydived probably 5 or 6 years before I had any intention of starting to base jump, right? So skydive for all that time. So there's a lot of people who will just skydive their whole entire career, do a few hundred jumps, do a few hundred wingsuit jumps, and then they're happy with that sort of situation. But people who start to base jump, after, 5 years in the sport, hundreds or thousands of jumps, will then start to base jump. But even then, like, I started my first base course in 2018, right? But then we obviously went through that fucking COVID bullshit, which pulled me off the travel series for a couple of years. So I've been base jumping for a long time, and I'm still not quite ready to start that wingsuit base jump. There's so many different processes where we can go from like jumping slick with no suit into that 2-piece classic suit. So you might do like 50, 100 jumps in that. Move up to the onesie, and that's what I jump. So if you look at my Instagram and watch any of my videos, I fly what's called a onesie power. So it's kind of like a tracking suit, but it's got so much surface area that once I exit the cliff, put my arms behind my back, that's when the suit starts to inflate, kind of like a wingsuit.
I'll just put it up for people. Is that it?
Yeah. So
like
if
this?
yeah, exactly right.
Oh,
So
I'll just get the
difference
image of
between
it.
that and a wingsuit is there's just no fabric between your arms and then your hips. So if you're in a wingsuit, you're pretty much in a straitjacket, right? So if you fuck your exit up and you go a bit head low or something, you're in some major problems straight away. The thing about the onesie is because my arms are free, I can jump with my arms out in front of me. I can get nice and stable. And when everything's rock solid and I'm okay with the exit, once those arms come back, that leg wing and those side wings, they fully inflate, and that's when I start to fly. But I can only get about half the performance of what a wingsuit's going to do, right? But this is about 50 times safer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But to clarify, you've base jumped, skydived before, haven't you? Like
Again.
you've gone base jumping.
Yeah.
You have gone base jumping.
Yeah. So all the things on my...
There's so many different, like, it's like fucking metal. Like, there's so many different subgenres.
Yeah, so skydiving is out of a plane,
Yeah.
right? So that's what skydiving is, and then base jumping is jumping off of cliffs,
Yeah.
pretty much, for
And
the layman's terms.
is that people that would you did this on the podcast before, but I get fucking cunted on podcasts, so I don't even remember.
No, it's fine. Most people wouldn't have heard the first
And
one.
it's
So
good. That's the thing. It's good now that my audience has grown and stuff. It's good to fucking reiterate on stuff. So, but jumping from like an urban setting, like a skyscraper, is that the same as base jumping?
that is base.
That is included in base jumping.
Yeah, that is base. Like I said, base is jumping off either a fixed object, so no plane.
Yeah.
So it's either a building.
And what makes it more sketchy though? Is it the variable of hitting something like do you have to get your jump right and?
Base is so sketchy because with a skydive, we've got a main parachute, when we've got a reserve parachute, and we've also got something called an automatic activation device. So if I get out the plane and do nothing, it'll register that I'm still in free fall and it will fire it off my back. Where base, we don't have any safety parameters, right? So we'd have no reserve, no
Just
computer.
big dog, you're just raw dogging it.
And we jump off of things that are so low. Where skydiving seems to be safe is because we jump from such high altitude, we deploy our parachute so high, and in the rare case that anything goes wrong, we've got so much time to deal with it. All right? We're legit jumping off of antennas, bridges, or cliffs, where we're flying so low to the ground that if anything goes wrong, we have minuscule moments to deal with the situation.
Yeah, it's a higher risk.
Oh, 10 times higher
Yeah.
risk for sure. Right.
So this video here though, because this video, I have such an affinity for this video because just the song behind it and how you explained to me when you jumped, you were going it took you a sec to realize. Why is the water not moving? Because I'm going the fucking same speed as the water, bro. This video goes so hard.
Yeah.
This is base jumping?
So this is base because it's off of like building, antenna,
Yes.
span, or earth. So this is off of earth. But before you start, it's like, is so terrified. Well, like I am for sure. And most people, because when you walk up to this cliff, right, everything inside of your body says, don't go near the cliff because we've evolved to try and keep ourselves alive.
Well,
right?
bro, we've evolved to not want to jump off planes. You fucking look at a plane and you're like...
Yeah, but a plane seems like
Oh.
the risk factor is like a skydive might be like 0.1 where a base might be 10. I'm just fucking making up shit, you know. But like I walk to the plane, I have no fear and I have no expectations that things are going to go wrong. But every time I go for a base jump, I hug my friends, we look at each other and we're like, I love you, bro. Have a sick jump. Because like...
It could be the last.
Generally, it could be the last jump. Even if you do everything right, you've got enough skills, you've done everything, things go wrong. And when things go wrong in this environment, they don't usually tend to end very well.
That'd be a shit. Like, fuck, bro. What kills you? Like, do you have a heart attack? Like, fuck, what happens? Like, what's the thing?
Well, it's either like you have... Like, there's a few things that either kill people. Like, so they hit the ground with nothing out, right? Which means you haven't deployed a parachute. Because when you try and fly past rocks or past some trees, you can misjudge things. The weather might not be quite right, you know. And you can
like how low in altitude? Like how? Because what's your skydiving altitude? What's the minimum? 10,000.
So we exited either like 12 or 15, and then we deploy by 3 or 4,000.
So 12's like the minimum ish with skydiving.
12 standard, yeah.
Standard, and so base jumping can be
anywhere from like 80 meters. Because we don't have anything else to jump off. Like even cliffs, you know, even the biggest cliffs in the world are like, you know, a couple of 100 meters. But the thing is, when you jump off a cliff, I can jump off and I've got things to look at, you know, so I can fly down a valley. So then it's like the further you get down the valley, the better you fly. You open up more lines, and there might be like rocks or trees or things that start to come up. And if you're not good at your skill and you can't outfly those things, you shouldn't be on the jump because there's potential that you might die on that jump, right?
So I just want to show everyone this.
Yeah.
Because it's honestly the song, bro. This song goes so hard and it just matches up so well with the clip. I don't know why this does not have 10 million views, bro.
It's because I don't like...
I don't know. You said after the podcast, because I was like, why don't you fucking...
I told you that, and I posted a little bit of sharp. I got a bit of traction and stuff, and then I just like that. I just got that little bit. I was like, not that I don't care. It's like
you don't want to put yourself out there too much.
Yeah, like and I want to, and it's just like for sure. But it's like
well, suss this. Have a look at this. This is a fucking hard clip. By the way, if you haven't gone on his Instagram, it's Vince_Jarvis_. This is when you messaged me, and I was like, you followed me, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like heaps of people, or not heaps, but people follow me, and I don't look at their profile a lot of the time because usually it's because they listen to the podcast and shit. I don't look at everyone's profile, and then like 2 days later, I seen your picture, and I was like, what the fuck? I looked at your page, and I was just like.
That was perfect.
and then I messaged you, and you were like, I really want to do the podcast, and I was like, that makes my job so easy.
Yeah.
Because is it like there's a big community in Adelaide of these people, and I have such an affinity for extreme sporting motherfuckers, bro. Because you're all not even like from like. Ryan
Williams.
Williams. Even from like that to you, like Australia's loose, and it doesn't get advertised enough.
Yeah.
But I'll just quickly play this before I get too sidetracked.
Yeah, cool.
Such a hard clip. Oh wait, I gotta play the song. Wait. It's not the same. You gotta play it from the start. Have a look at this shit.
I need a fax borders because they bite.
Bro, the water's not moving. It's so funny.
I need a fax.
And it's so funny because that clip goes for what? Fucking nothing. But when I'm doing that jump, I jump and in my mind, because everything's so slow-mo while you're jumping off cliffs, right? So I get off and I feel like I'm tracking for so long. I flip onto my back, and in my mind, when I landed, I was like, oh, I flipped to my back, and I'm tracking on my back for ages.
Did you want a beer, by the way?
Watching all my friends. Yeah, I'll grab that other Jamo, please.
You want a Jamo?
Yeah. So I flipped to my back, and I'm tracking what feels like for ages on my back, looking at all my mates doing flips off that cliff, having a real good time, flip to my belly, and then track off. But then you watch the video, I like flip to my back for like a second, and then flip back to my belly. I was like, that was so good on my back, because everything's just so slow-mo, so gnarly inside your head that it's just like, everything's it's just a total different world, man, when you start to do these jumps.
So when, like, back to what the original question was, like, when a young kid fucking comes up to you and he's like, I want a fucking wingsuit, like, do you, like, can you look at someone and be like, oh. Like, have you had to tell people, like, no?
No, I just put them on the progress, like, plan, you know. I've been through it. Everyone's done it before me. There's so many people that have done it, like, since I have. So as soon as they grab them, I said, cool, if this is what you want to do, show me some commitment. This is the path. You come and grab me on this weekend. We'll go do this amount of jumps and these things. And if you're actually interested, hit me up and I'll fulfill those dreams for you. You've got so much things to do before we get there. And I was the same when I started. I was like, I want to do this wingsuit. I want to start these things. I put a post up the other day when I was like a child doing my first wingsuit jump. You know, I'd done my 200 or 300 wingsuit skydives, did a couple of wingsuit jumps, and then put it away for like 7 years. You know, didn't jump back into it for a while because I found this angle flying and head up and head down. That was my jam, my specialty, and I just followed that for like 7 years, and it wasn't for ages. Like, to be honest, all of us good free flyers would give wingsuiters shit, like a little bit. We're like, oh, you want to go put your big skirt on? Like, learn how to fly your body before you're going to go put this wingsuit on. So I followed my dream for so long, and then all these dudes who wanted a wingsuit have been doing it for the last, you know, like 6 or 7 years, getting real good at it. And then after I, like, followed all my dreams and did everything, and now I'm at the point where I want to start getting real good at wingsuit skydiving, because you need to do a lot of wingsuit skydives before you can put it into the base environment, because if you don't, you die. So now I'm trying to do those skills, and I realise how hard it is and how difficult it is and how skilled all these boys are that have been doing it for so long. And I'm like, oh, I've been ripping on you boys for a while, but this is actually quite difficult.
What's like if I was to like go like YouTube someone or YouTube a specific base jump or base wingsuit jump, what's like the most gnarly one? Is there like the most gnarly person?
If you write dream lines in on YouTube, it's probably like some of the gnarly like wingsuit lines that you'll ever
And is it usually Red Bull? Does Red Bull do most of it?
Nah, like some of the athletes who are on Red Bull have done some gnarly shit, but no one knows the gnarliest wingsuit base jumpers. That it's quite underground that no one would really even see any of these guys that are like pushing the limits, because they don't. It's so underground that no one really even knows all this sport.
People need to fucking... You just need one good doco. That's the thing. Like, no one knew what free solo was.
No.
And then Alex Honnold's El Capitan doco came out. And he went on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, yeah. You know what I mean? It takes something like that. It takes someone that's good with a camera to find interest in it.
For sure.
And then
I don't know how I don't know how as a community we can like push ourselves more into the spotlight. Like a few years ago there was a lot of dudes who, if you write Dreamlines wingsuit base, you'll find some gnarly shit. There's a lot of dudes who like really progress. Yeah, that top shit.
That one?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of dudes in like in Australia who tried to promote like skydiving, and we did some like a lot of YouTube, a lot of like interviews on people.
Oh, fuck. Have a look at that. By accident. Wait up. Oh, where did I pause that at? Oh, shit. Wait up. So, I don't know what the fuck just happened. I had my first... I've had my first malfunction in a long time. I accidentally fucking hit pause, and we fucking went on a rant about. I asked Vince, like, the coolest thing is if a normal person went to, say, Switzerland, they see such a different thing to what you would see, because you go and you're fucking jumping and you're in the wilderness most of the time probably, and you're just experiencing something different. And then I was talking about how I asked him like so when he's up there on the base jump, there's this like kinship between base jumpers because it's such a definite sport. Like when you play soccer and you're pushing the boundaries in a direction and you're doing shit no one's ever seen before, it's so low risk because if you fuck up, you're just losing the ball. If Vince fucks up, he's dying. Like
I'm going to lose some of my closest mates, because
and you were talking about what was the list that you were talking about?
It's called the BFL, the base fatality list. So every time anyone fucks up, and we call it going in. So if anyone goes in, they're going to die in the sport. They get put on what's called the BFL. So it's a list that recognises who they are, how many skydives they got, how many base jumps they got, how long they've been in the season, what jump they're doing, what exit they're jumping from, the wind conditions, what suit they're jumping from, because we have a little bit of list so everyone can learn from someone's mistakes, because this game is so fucking gnarly that you don't have time to make all the mistakes yourself. You make one mistake and you're gone. So if you don't learn from other people's mistakes, it's a slow fucking, slow gradual point where just like you need to learn from the other people's mistakes. And it's so gnarly. Like, this is the first year that I've had off where I haven't been to Europe, right? So I haven't had a big base things. And since I've talked to you last time, I've done not many, if any, like base jumps because there's not much to do around here. So you're just watching this list go off like all the time. And I said to one of my mates the other day, it's like, I need to get back to Europe so quick next year to go for jumping because I'm watching the BFL go off so hard that it makes me question the sport. Why the fuck are we doing this? Why are we going jumping? Because so many people like are making mistakes and hitting the ground. But while you're in the zone and while you're jumping, it seems so fucking relevant and like it all seems like it doesn't matter. You're such in the zone that you're like, he went in, he fucked up. That's not something that I'm going to fuck up because I'm going to try and learn from their mistakes. And most of the people that are going in lately are high-performance wingsuit flyers. There's a lot of dudes who are flying wingsuits that are flying out of their comfort zone and making mistakes, and you can't make mistakes in my game. Like you said when that soccer plays, like you fuck up, you miss the ball, you do an own goal, everyone hates you for a while, but then you get to go play the next game. But if you fuck up in my game,
you're dead.
You're dead. You can't replay it, you can't retry, you can't have another go.
And then we were talking about there's such a kinship with you and your boys when you're up there because you fucking. And there's a thing with me and my friends as well. And I was saying off camera, and I will reiterate it because I think it's important because not a lot of people have that.
Yeah, no.
A lot of people go through fucking life, bro, and they don't have the boys. Like, you can have your missus, you can have this and this and that. You need your fucking boys.
I've been so lucky that I've had such a fucking massive crew of, like, schoolmates, workmates, a lot of people that I've been very fucking close to for a long entire time until I started that skydiving base journey, and that opens up so many more new people that I get to jump with. And I'm so thankful that all my close mates that I've grown up with, we've been so close for a long enough time that they respect and understand that I don't have time on the weekends to go and hang out and go to a barbecue or their kid's first birthday because I'm pushing my dreams so hard. And I'm so fucking thankful and grateful that I've got such a support network on the outside of it. So when I need a time off from the sport, when everything's getting gnarly, or if I come back from a big trip and I've just been like at fucking 95% all the time, I can come back and hang out with those, and we can just go to the pub and play some pool and play some darts. And it's like, and we're just, every time I see him, if I haven't seen him for a while, it's like we're seeing each other yesterday.
And it's like, well, I was saying before, like, it's important to find people also that fucking really have the same passions, and they're very, you need mates that are similar to you.
Yeah.
Because I was saying before, like, my mates, we're notoriously fucking loose. Like, when I see loose people, I think it's hilarious that when I went overseas and people would say they're loose, I'm fucking gearing up for my 5th day and they're bowing out at fucking 4 in the morning in the first, bro. And then me and all the boys, like, we're all loose, and it's fine to be loose. Like, it's so fine, but you got to know when to rein it in, obviously, and be a fucking adult. But I'll forever look forward to a bender.
Yeah.
For the fucking rest of my days, I'll forever look forward to a bender because that's me and my boys. We just like to do that.
I've tried my best over the last few years to try and not grow up. That's the whole entire thing.
Who the fuck? Everyone's like, oh, you got to grow up, you got to buy. Why? Why? So you can pay fucking. I'm paying this mortgage to the government. Like I'm fucking like, why do you don't need to grow up?
Just throwing it away. And the thing is, and I knew this from the start when I started this whole entire skydiving, especially base. I need to travel overseas multiple times a year.
You have to, because one thing I said before, me and my father, we don't share many traits. We share our tempers and we share wanderlust. If I'm in Adelaide, bro, for 4 or 5 months, I'm fucking, just get me to Melbourne. I hate Melbourne, but just get me there for a weekend. Just get me anywhere.
Yeah. Since I was on last time, maybe 6 months ago, I'd just come back from Norway, had the best trip of my whole entire life. And right now is like, I came back, got that suit, and I was like, if everything goes super well, the training goes well, I'll go back and I'll run some jumps. And like I said, when I got into that suit, it was a little bit harder than I expected. Adelaide weather got a little bit shit, so I hadn't done enough jumps, and I made the decision that I'm not going to go this year. So I had to take a year off. And that's the first time in a couple of years that I haven't gone over to Europe. And in that whole entire time, I'm just sitting there and watching like all these people that I met the last year, the year before, just progressing so quick. And I'm sitting back here in Adelaide just being like, what the fuck am I doing, man? Like busting my ass working all the time and not going away because I just miss out on that thing. 'Cause I have this massive thing where I can't miss out and watch all my friends like have the best the entire time. But all I was getting at from that situation is because I've got so many people back here that are willing to like hang out and catch up and all those friends that I've like missed out on. But I like as soon as I have that 1 year off and I watch that BFL go off and all these people start to die and shit, and I'm like, from the outside, I'm like, fuck, man, this is a pretty gnarly sport, you know, like why the fuck am I doing this? But if I'm over there and jumping all the time, it just seems 100% worth it.
Yeah.
100% worth it because you're involved, you're jumping, you're getting that friendship, you're getting all that things. I'm on that exit point with my best friend in the whole entire world. We're about to exit on this jump where my whole body says I don't want to go and do it. And he comes up to me and we like go up, we look each other in the eye and we actually mean it. I fucking love you, dude. Have a sick jump, man. I hope you have a fucking good time. Because there's a good chance that we're not going to fucking both come back from that jump. Not a good chance, but there's a possibility for sure. Even if you do everything right, it's going to be the same thing. And, you know, and like all my friends, I'm very close to their parents. We go out for like dinners and barbecues and all that sort of shit, you know. We go back and stuff. If I have to go back and like have that conversation with the parents, man, like fucking gnarly. But it may happen, and I've talked to them all, and we've had this whole conversation. It's like, this is the risk we're all running into. So when we have that little hug and that fucking moment when we talk to each other, like, you know, respect, I love you, like we fucking mean it, dude. Like, and not many people get to experience that at all in their whole entire life, where like all their friends, they go out and they party, they enjoy themselves, but like, fuck, and they just fucking on the molly, like, I love you, man. But like, that's just, you know, they don't mean it the way we mean it when we're about to go for this jump, you know?
Yeah, it's very true. I've fucking dabbled in some fucking uppers, and you just fucking like, I love you, man.
Yeah, there's in the moment love you, which I respect that too, like for sure. Like more people need to tell their friends that they love them. Even if it's like not in a fucking full like, deep moment, like
me and my boys, we're not like I shit on the whole men's mental health fucking movement till I die because I feel like a lot of it, 95% of it's a cult. But me and my boys regularly tell each other we love each other.
Yeah,
because I fucking do. I love my boys.
Yeah,
I love my boys because they're all the same as me. We're fuck ups, but we've all made it. Like we've all made it in the sense that we're all the ones that knew when to rein it in, because a lot of my old mates didn't know when to rein it in.
Yeah,
and they're fuck ups. They're all fucking losers. Like they're all losers. They're just the pits of society, just terrible humans.
Mate, I grew up in Victor Harbour, man. I've seen some fucking shit in my time, and I'm fucking super grateful that I found skydiving when I was younger, man, because it was that time where it was like,
it's a no-nonsense sport.
Shit was getting wild, man. And there was a lot of weekends that people were going out partying and stuff. And I was having parties, like, at my house when I was living with housemates. And they were all going on, like, on the sesh, man. And it would, like, you know, it would get to, like, you know, early in the night. And I said, oh, cool, sweet, party's no longer here at this house. I'm going jumping tomorrow in my early stages, and I'm dedicating my life to that. So like legit skydiving has just like changed my life for the better.
How old are you now?
I'm fucking 33 years old right now.
Do you have like a cap?
Cap for jumping?
Is there like a physical? Is there, because obviously it would be pretty physically taxing.
For sure. Like,
is there a prime?
Yes and no. Like,
you'd be in your prime now.
The prime's now for sure. And then, like I was saying, I had this year off, and now I'm watching that BFL just go off like crazy. When I started jumping, and I said this to a lot of people, and I said this to my mum and my sister, and I gave them a hug when I was going to Europe. I said, I fucking love you so much. I'm going to do these gnarly jumps. There's a chance that everything's going to go to shit, and when I'm not going to come back. And I feel like it's worth it because I'm living my life to the absolute max, So I'm going to go do these things regardless. And now I've been jumping for a while, and especially now that I've had a season off, and I watch that fucking list go off all the time. And for the first time ever in my whole entire life now, I'm going, oh fuck, like I'm questioning, not doubting, but questioning my motives to continue.
I do. I can only attribute it to what I know, and I know fighting. And as soon as a fighter, not as soon, but like, if you're a fighter, you need to have that ego that you're invincible.
Yeah.
Like if a lot of people can make a living fighting professionally, but if you want to be in the top percentage, which is what wingsuit base jumping is, that's the top 1%.
Yeah, this is a good topic. Go.
This is the top 1% of the world. This is the UFC champion. Like, you have made it to the top 5 of the UFC. That's what I attribute that to, because that's the top level of the sport. As soon as you're a toe out, you're not in there anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. No, that makes total sense.
That's not saying that knowing the risk means that. Now that you're older, you understand the risk. And understanding the risk is just IQ. Like, having a high fight IQ is very, very, very important to know the risk. So there's a fine line between having that ego where nothing's going to happen and, like, worrying. Yeah.
When I started, I told everyone, mum, sister, everything. It's like, if I go in doing this, it's worth it. That's how good the feeling is, and I'm experiencing life. I'm going as hard as I can, and I'm enjoying myself, and I'm traveling, and life is absolutely perfect.
Would you rather say, like, Vince is off in Switzerland right now base jumping, or he's
playing computer?
He's not happy in an office. He's divorced. He has 2 kids.
Yeah, 100%, man. And this legit, man. This last 6 months has been the hardest time in probably my whole entire life, because not only did I take that time off of not going, but I've had to realize the fact that, like, before then my life was perfect all the time, every time. Everything was great. Everything was good. I was always traveling, and now I've had a time off and shit. I was like, oh fuck. All these times where I was like, I don't want to buy a house, I don't want to do all this sort of shit, I'm just trying to live my dreams. And now the fact that I'm just like, oh, fuck.
Bro,
housing problems are so fucking difficult, like, because I'm doing a reverse retirement. And I've said everything's like, I can't do these sports later in life. You cannot do them, man. Legit. Like, I started when I was 27, been jumping my ass off since then. And even to the point where now that I'm 33, starting to question, like, some of my decisions that I've made in life. But I'm like, I have had the best entire life I could ever fucking imagine up to now, right? And I don't want to change any of that whatsoever. But now's the first time I'm starting to think about it. It's like, oh, fuck. I've spent every dollar I've ever fucking made either having a good time, either partying, skydiving, or traveling.
That's not bad.
And I don't regret a fucking second of it whatsoever.
So my best mate, bro, that owns fucking Nuri on in Porties, the bar, we both dropped out in year 10. He got a roofing apprenticeship. I became a chef. And he just said, fuck it. And he traveled the world. Like, he just traveled. But he traveled. He toured, like, 30 states in America in a van, bro. And ended up in fucking Guatemala. Like, in fucking Mexico, bro. Yeah. Like, crazy. And now he's like, it all comes together in the end. You just got to make it there.
Yeah. I've worked so hard from my fucking 16th birthday till now. Like, that's the one thing that I knew, that no matter how much I travelled, partied, or spent, I knew the fact that my work ethic will pull me out of the fucking hole. Yeah.
Yeah. That.
Just anything, bro.
Anything's good.
My work ethic was going to pull me out. But now you see most of the fucking young lads now, or anyone, like, they don't want to work hard. They don't want to do too much. So my whole theory was like, I'm going to do a reverse retirement. I'm going to spend all my coin that I have to right now to travel, because you can't do this sport when you're older, because, like, you know, your body's broken, you have some accidents, and you don't want to do it. You've got all these family commitments. So I knew no matter what, I was going to have to work my fucking ass off from my mid-30s to 40s to make up for all that time for people who have been saving and putting money away, which I thought was fucking wanky years ago. But now I'm at the point where I was like, oh, it'd be nice to have my own place. It'd be nice to have these things. I've got all the toys I can ever fucking imagine, man. I've got a shed full of bikes and cars and everything I've ever wanted. But the bank account is not fucking looking healthy, right?
Yeah, but the bank account's not looking healthy for anyone right now.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And that was the thing. Back in those times when I made all those decisions, I was like, cool, I'll work harder than anyone else, because I work throughout the week earth moving, like driving an excavator, and on the weekends I do tandems, and I'll just outwork everyone. That's my plan. I'll outwork everyone. I'll get a job if I need to in the mines, and I'll just start to outwork everyone. But now everything's so fucking expensive, man. I just go get enough food just to fucking live my life, man. And I just get one bag and it's $100 from Woolies. And I'm just like, fuck you.
And then you go to Europe and they just take 3 months of the year off.
Oh, 100%. Well,
they just fuck off for 3 months of the year.
My whole thing was like, I'm going to go away mining, because I've been earth moving for like 18 years, bro. I'm still at my first job ever at South Coast, and I fucking love these guys, because they've just like been through thick and thin, injury, sickness, or every time I put a leave form in, they'd be like, where are you going this time? Have a good time and enjoy, man. And I take so much fucking time off because I work weekends. Every now and then I need to have a bit of time off. And that's so good to me. But now I'm just like, the first time ever, I'm like, oh shit, I can work every fucking day and still be not financially where I expected it to be, you know?
Yeah,
which is a little bit of a scary time right now.
I earn fucking good money, dude. And like, I actually need $1,200 a week minimum to like bare minimum. Like that's not having that much fun.
Yeah.
I need $1,200 a week.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the fuck, when I was an apprentice, I used to live off $280 a week. And I used to fucking pound down 20 pingers a fucking night.
When I started my work, I had to finish like year 12. I had to do like a work experience. So I went down the road to this place, like, you know, where I still fucking work. Rocked up just to do work experience. Did the week, and they're like, oh, it was the end of the year. It's like, do you want to work the holidays, get some beer money? I was like, yeah, I'm going to need some beer money, man. I'll work here for sure. Worked, got to the end of the holidays. Absolutely loved it. I said, we'll sign you up for apprenticeship. You're not going to leave, are you? I was like, nah, love it here. Seen all these dudes driving these massive machines and graders and dozers. I'm like, yeah, I fucking love this shit. It's like, cool, we'll sign you up. I started on $12 an hour, man.
Yeah, that was like, legit.
And that was like 18 years ago, you know, that was the normal, you know.
You used to be able to go out, bro, and just get drunk. Like now, fuck, bro, it cost me like, if I want to go out, like out, and I want to drink, like if I go out and I have not pre-drunk, it'll cost me $600 at a bar.
Oh, for sure.
Easily.
We're not fucking around.
I'm not here to fuck spiders. Like, I'm not here to fuck spiders. I'm not drinking because I want to taste the fucking IPA. I'm drinking because I want to get on it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it's a wild time to be a kid. I'd hate to be born like
for
right
sure.
now.
And that's another
Imagine
thing,
being born right now.
That's another thing, big stress in my life, you know? The big stress in my life, you know? Like, you fucking bought a house, you know? You bought it here when you were, like, young and smart enough to, like, pick up something. And that's why I'm just like, money, jump, do everything I can. I'll fucking work it out in the future. And now we get here, I'm like, cool, sweet.
I will never, ever know how I scrambled the money to buy this house when I was younger. Because my parents always put it in my head, they're like, we know that you fucking love to party, but just buy a house.
Yeah.
Just buy a house. So I just bought a house. And I was like, fuck, thank God I bought a house.
How old were you when you did that?
21, 22. I was young, but I was fucking...
like 60 years ago?
65 years ago. But I was fucking loose.
Yeah.
Like, I knew if I bought it, I could fucking just party.
Yeah.
Because I knew one day... Bro, you can't buy a house in Morphevale now for less than $500,000.
Yeah.
And if you're buying a house in Morphevale for $500,000, you're buying a fucking 3-bedroom, you're buying one of those houses.
Yeah.
Like, just with the long hallway, no character to it, no backyard.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucked. Like, I know people buying houses in Seaford now for $800,000, bro. And Seaford's a shithole.
Dude,
I love it. I love Seaford.
Yeah.
But like $800,000 for a fucking 4-bedroom house in Seaford, bro. You live in Meadows at the moment.
Yeah.
Meadows, I've been looking. So the plan is to move to an acreage.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to move an hour away. I'm gonna have to move maybe past Yank.
Yeah.
Because it's wild out there. It's $1 million plus for nothing.
If you come down to our hood, if you do like the Meadows Yank things, like, bro, you fucking love it.
I fucking love it
We've
already.
got so many boys and shit down there. It's like, it's so good. And that's why I came back. I just literally come back from McLaren Vale. Where we live was this beautiful fucking winery, right? We're living in an old cellar door house with like the gin bar out the back, never,
fucked.
on this massive acreage, and it was just so fucking stunning, right? We had the best place ever, right? So I've just gone back from that, gone back to Meadows. Everything's underwater in Meadows for like 9.5 months of the year, and the rest of the water drips off the trees.
I've always wanted to live on acreage because I just love shooting. I love shooting everything.
I grew up on farms, man. I lived.
You did?
Yeah, I was born in Woodchester, which is just out of Strathalbyn. So
do you know what's funny? Those pieces of land would have been worth $6.50 back in the day, bro. And same as Victor. My dad he's a flop. My dad, bro, he's not a flop, but like he owned so much land. So much. So my dad came here literally the most racial, stereotypical thing. He came here with fucking a thong, bro, and $2 in his wallet. He came from the war. And then they moved up. Originally, my parents, I think, were from Paradise way before I was born. In 73, I think my dad moved here.
They migrate from Italy?
My dad, no, Greece, Cyprus. So the war happened and my dad fucking legged it here. And like back in the day, they were buying blocks of land in fucking Morphevale, bro, for like 2.5 G's. And he sold it at the first boom. But if you just knew, but like where you are now, like Meadows and shit, bro, you got all these fucking idiots from Sydney and Melbourne and shit. They're like, oh, it's an hour from the city and it's a farm.
Yeah,
an hour's close.
Yeah, sight unseen, you know, because we grew up on farms and stuff. And my mum's
but you grew up on a farm.
Grew up on a farm in Woodchester, and then we also then bought a farm at Finnis, which is halfway between.
Finnis is fucking nice. That's where I've been looking.
180 acres we had in Finnis, you know. So I grew up on all these farms, like climbing gum trees, swimming in dams forever. So I'm a full fucking farm kid. And it wasn't until I was starting to become old enough where I left Strath Primary, did a year of homeschooling out on the farm, and I just never did anything, man, because I was just like riding bikes and climbing trees and all that sort of shit.
You shooting shit?
Not at this stage because I was young, and then I was like hassling mum and shit. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. We're living on a fucking property in the middle of nowhere. I want to go to the skate park. I want to have friends. I want to go hang out and shit.
How much do you fucking look
Regret
back,
it so
bro?
much, and this is what I'm saying. So mum bought a house in Goolwa. Right? So this is when I went and finished like my schooling at Goolwa, went to Victor High.
Great pippies.
And this is at this time, soon as we moved in there, I was like, I want to grow weed. I want to shoot guns. I want to drive cars. I want to ride bikes. All the shit that I could have done on the farm, but I just hated it out there because I was isolated. And then as soon as I was like, grew up, I was like, I want all those things I just had.
Well,
But I don't regret. If I was a farm kid forever and did fucking schools, I wouldn't have made the friends. I wouldn't have started skating, which I wouldn't have started being a menace. I wouldn't have started The whole entire journey. So the whole entire journey that I've been on is for a reason, because that's how it was supposed to be. But
farm kids though, they're different, bro.
Hippie parents. I grew up on hippie parents, smart parents who could build, who were like into fucking.
Do they still hold any property?
Mum's still got a fucking beautiful place in Victor. So that's the whole thing. But she wants to move to like some farmerage still wants acreage, you know, still yearns for that fucking place that we had again.
So I've been looking, so it's actually cheaper to get 100 acres than it is 10.
Yeah.
Because 10 is so sought after with influencers.
Yeah, because they don't want to fucking deal with like this shit, you know. My mate Reese, so his wedding's coming up real soon. I've got a whole week off for his wedding. He lives out in Wistow. Just bought 100 and something acres out there. Just bought it like just on the cusp before fucking COVID. It used to be an old mining site. So we had to fight through lots of different mining companies to get the leases, like things. And this place is fucking stunning. Stunning. Got it for nothing. And he's such a jack of all trades. Built this house with all the rock walls, all the things. And it went from just like nothing to fucking stacks, you know. And his wedding's going to be at his property. So everyone's, because he's a Skydiver Basejumper, so everyone's going to fly in from all over the fucking world for this event. This is going to be like underground, the biggest wedding that's ever going to fucking touch SA.
Bro, so one of my best friend, like Tom, shout out to Tom, he's fuckwit.
Tommy boy. Yo.
He was, I think, he was my second or third episode ever. It was when it was in the
I've watched them all.
It was when we were in there, Tom. That was the first time I asked. Oh fuck! That was the first time I asked someone, how many 7-year-olds could you beat the fuck out of? And the clip went viral.
I listen to that all the time.
And he's a fucking Darrow, bro. He's a farm boy, and he's like, he moved to Adelaide, then he moved back up to Sydney, and he's like, come up to see where I live. And I was like, I've never seen rural motherfuckers before, like real rural, like. Bro, he lives in, I don't know what the area is, but it's near the Hunter Valley in New South Wales. But it's a very small fucking town.
Where there's sheep fucker boots.
Bro, they're fucked. And there's one pub, and that pub services everyone. So I've rocked up to Sydney, and I used to live in Sydney. So I was like familiar with it, but then he's drove me to the fucking backwoods of Sydney. And the whole mission of the trip was to cook a pig on the spit for his dad's birthday. And the little so the story is, he lives on this, I'm going to say 50-acre plot on the top of this mountain. You cannot get to his house unless you have a very well-equipped four-wheel drive. He hates people. He built his own house out of timber, and he bought it for $1,000, like fucking 60 years ago. His name's Maddox.
Yeah, Maddox.
The owner of the land beneath him is the owner of Luna Park.
Oh, fuck.
But he's just this cunt with long hair that thinks the Russians are coming any day. He's a psycho. And we've gotten there.
No, those guys are the smart. You can listen to those people, bro.
He's a fucking psycho, bro. But we've gotten there, and I'm like, where's the pig? And we're at the pub, and I'm fucking, within 2 hours of being there, I'm like, I love this. Because it reminds me of my father and mother's hometown in Cyprus. It's just village motherfuckers drinking.
Yeah.
And we're at the pub, and I'm blackout drunk, and I'm like, where's the pig? We got to cook it in 2 days. And they're like, we got to catch it, bro. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, we have to catch this pig, bro.
Little bird's still out in the paddock.
No, it escaped. so we're in like the Hunter Valley, bro. We're blackout drunk. And I'm like, who's going to drive? And they're like, the cop's over there, bro. We're fine. So the cop's parrot.
He'll come pick us up. It's sweet.
So we're all driving, like, and we're on this property, bro, like 500, 600 acres, and they're like, the pig's here somewhere. So we're trekking for this pig for ages. I don't know where I am. And I'm fucking blackout drunk on God knows what. And I'm fucking trekking around this fucking farm. and it's very like mountainous for Australia. It's very green and lush.
Yeah.
It's very different to a normal Australian landscape. It's not desolate. And we're fucking trekking, and after we got bogged, and then 2, 3, 4 hours later, bro, I'm like, we're not gonna find this fucking pig, bro. And then I look over. Oh no, we're bogged, and I see this alpaca, and this alpaca is covered in dreads. Like it's legit. It's an alpaca, and it's just covered in these perfect dreadlocks. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I look at my mate Tom, and he's like, that's the alpaca. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, the alpaca looks after the pigs. And then I look down, and he's got this pig. And I'm like, we found you cunt.
Yeah.
But that town was so funny because they still deal with the old system of ways. Like, you give me this pig, I'll give you 3 cartons of beer, and I'll do some work for you on your... Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's how they all are.
Oh, that's how I grew up, man, 100%.
But that's sick.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I'm so grateful for my fucking parents for having that time and on the farm and all that sort of shit. Same things. We had Shetland ponies, we had fucking donkeys, we had all that sort of shit, you know. We'd go and like pull fucking yabbies out of the dam and all that sort of shit, you know. It was like, I'm so fucking thankful, man. Like, I had like semi-hippie parents that had the best values and stuff, and that's why I feel like I'm a real good human being, is because I grew up the right way with the right people and like learnt the right values, and then they got to send me out into the world, you know. But they were also fucking menaces, you know. Like, so my old boy taught me how to be, you know, those things. And I was so fucking grateful that he grew up just like with this passion for like Harleys and motorcycles and painting and work ethic. And that's where I got my good work ethic, was from my old boy. Every time holidays we'd go and paint and we'd do all this sort of shit, you know. And it's
but that's the thing, bro. No, like my father was actually talking to someone right before we did this podcast, and we were talking about, they sent me a certain clip about someone, and I was like, imagine walking, fucking someone, this chin up dickhead, he does this mental health program, fuck that cunt. But he's like heaving on the ground like he's giving birth, and he's fucking crying, and I'm like, imagine walking in on your father and he's doing that. Like, imagine that. Like, just imagine that you walk in on that and he's upset because he's not upset because he went to war. Like, my father went to war.
Yeah.
My granddad went to fucking war.
Yeah.
Like, he was fucked because of the war.
Yeah.
And like, all these people went to fucking atrocities.
Yeah.
Like, and you're gonna cry because you think you have anxiety. Like, what a fucking, imagine looking up to, and he messaged me, this bloke, and he's like, imagine being a kid now and your generation of fathers are fucking all retards. Like, they're all pussies. Like,
free stuff.
But yeah, free sub. But like, it baffles me because you're upset because you have anxiety. Yeah. Like, you don't know anxiety.
You have no idea.
You don't know. My father fled a fucking war because Turkey invaded fucking Cyprus and they were killing everyone.
Yeah.
My granddad was in fucking a war, like the World War. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine it?
I seen that post and I sent it all, and I was very interested to ask you, like, off the mic, what that all was going to go about, because I know that fucking dude.
Nah, fuck him. Fuck them all.
He's from Victor, bro. He worked for us as a little...
He's a piece of shit. He fucking rorted 60 grand out of the community.
He worked for my company, like South Coast, came as like a water car driver for a little while. And as soon as he started, he's like, I've got all these business plans. He was selling like fucking...
Yeah, of course he does. They're business plans. That's what they are. They're business plans.
Yeah, he was selling all these like, steel pegs instead of pegs online, marketplace, you know, like get them off the internet and sell them on marketplace.
He was getting fucking pegged in the arse in Thailand when he was spending that 60 grand that he got fucking donated.
And I remember when he like was at work, he's like, I'm going to start up this little fucking like, I'm going to start this program or things. And like, it seemed to me, look, because I didn't know the dude, it was a very big business plan. You know, it was a big business plan and shit. It was a bit wank.
I can't fucking handle it, man. One thing that gets me, it just gets me. I know I'm a piece of shit. You can bring up anything about me. Yeah, I used to fucking do heaps of drugs. I know fucking people that slinged heaps of drugs. I've done horrible things to people. I've bashed people. I've been bashed. Like, you can bring all that stuff up about me, but I think it's funny because that's me. But if you're going to act like you're a nice person and then prey on fucking weak people and fucking lay on the floor and act like you're having contractions of fucking a pregnancy and you're claiming men's mental health, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Grow up.
It's a business for sure, big times. And I know you, and I meet all these good people that I can work out someone straight away. I meet so many fucking people every weekend, you know, and I get to work out their systems. And I can work out who's a good person, like, straight away from their values or just the way they chat. And I can see that they're good people, because fake people do my fucking head in every single time, right? So good people all the time, I can work it out. And then some people are trying to make $1.
And if you fuck it, and if you fuck with him, then just unsubscribe, because I don't subscribe to that shit. Like, I always say, if my boys message me and they're like, I'm having a fucking hard time, bro. And we always have these talks. I have a very close friend that I'll always call up, and fucking sometimes I'll break down in tears because I'll just be upset. You don't need to post it online for monetary gain.
No.
That's not what this shit's for. Like, and if you follow that, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. No, I understand, for sure.
We don't know that it's fine to hide your feelings sometimes. Like, as a man, you need to be able to hide your feelings sometimes. You do.
Yeah.
It's not about crying and hugging your boys. Like, there is a time and place for that.
If you're in a spot like me where you have such a good connection with all your friends and stuff, and like I said, when I'm going to do those jumps, I do those genuine, I fucking love you,
dude.
Have
those genuine fucking moments,
have those good times. And when I'm having a bit of a shit time, and I'll have that chat to those boys, we'll deal with it right there. Like I said, I've had this whole 6 months off, haven't jumped, watched all my friends having an elite time. I've had a bit of a hard time the last few months. And it's the first time in my whole entire life I've had these open conversations at fucking parties or around the fire. It's like having a bit of a shit time right now, and we have a good conversation, we deal with it.
That's fucking normal.
That's fucking normal, man. I don't need to
You don't need to fucking
ask people online to say, please send me a nice DM.
You don't need to go to a fucking facility and all scream at the top of your lungs and hug. I'm so upset. Uncle Jim was not soft. Like, fucking just come. That was rough. Just come
on the session.
Just come on the session stuff. But there is a thing to it where I find people so slimy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't settle well with me. And he blocked me so quickly.
But look at all your people that just jumped on straight away, dude. They got fucking wild. I watched it for a second. I was like, holy fuck, man. The podcast might be doing it right because everyone's trying to free the subs.
He's moved to Queensland.
Yeah, cool.
He used to live very close to me. And oh fuck, bro. He used to be an Uber driver, this person. And I'd fucking crack him. It just upsets me. It just upsets me so much. Especially when you're all of these people that they're scamming into it. They have legitimate hope.
Yeah.
It's what I find it uncomfortable about people that do the readings about the past life. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
What are those cunts called? Psychics. Like, you're just playing on people's emotions. Like,
I feel like you've got two eyes.
Yeah, it's a fucking... Do you have a grandpa? Well, I'll pause it, but I will remember. Yeah. You need a piss? I need a piss too. I'll pause it, but I will remember this time. Actually, this is a good segue to talk about today's sponsor. So, if you have a child, and I'm talking child as in... I would say 2 to 9. Maybe 9's not old enough. I don't have kids. But toddlertough.com.au, they have MMA playpens, and they have the ultimate bundle, which is a soccer and basketball playpen. And I think if you go the ultimate bundle has a boxing bag and baby set of gloves. Get your kid in there, go to toddlertough.com.au, use code SESH15 and you'll receive 15% discount, along with my homeboys, which I'll ride and die for, toodaloo.com.au. You want a bidet, use the code SESH at checkout, 15% off, maybe 20. I don't know what it is anymore, but sick cunts. SESH, toodaloo.com.au.
Yeah, the sesh.
The SESH.
I've also met a lot of fucking fantastic people while traveling. Like everywhere I go, we've stayed at hostels, Airbnbs, and all these places and stuff. And when you rock up and you're having a good time and you're traveling with your friends, they just open the doors to you, man. It's absolutely incredible. I feel like if I fully run out of money and everything went to the shit, I would just start to travel on my own goodwill, because I'm the sort of person that can just rock up to these Airbnbs, have a good chat with everyone, and they just open their doors. They make this most beautiful dinners, these beautiful places. I've been to some crazy places around the world. I've been to a lot of different places around this place, and everywhere I go, just get opened up with open arms and get to these awesome little places.
Is there anyone in Adelaide that you would recommend for the pod? That's the loosest unit. Who is the loosest unit in your field?
There's a lot. There's like the crew that I live with, like the Sheps. This is the crew when I get to Meadow. Like all those boys are loose. They're good boys, but they're all so fucking talented. They all ride motorcycles. They all charge. They're all so skilled at everything, you know. There's a few different people. I was thinking about on the way here, because last time you talked to me, you said, if you've got any good friends that want to come on and have a bit of a chat and talk about it. I thought about these things. When we went to Europe 2 years ago, we were on that massive Greece experience. The whole entire time we were on there, we were filming a bit of a documentary. So my mate, Alex Newton, he did a big, massive documentary. He started a couple of years ago when he came over there. And he had some fucking real hectic life, like lung cancer, some real fucking like a bad prognosis and shit. So while we're over there, we did filmed a bit of a documentary on why we do the things we do, why we experience the life we do, why we jump, and why we have this good friendship. So in a couple of years' time, they've been editing this documentary for a while, but he would be a real great person to come on. Not the loosest units. He's a doctor. He's so smart. He's such a fucking amazing human being.
Get him
but
on.
We started to film this little documentary. I'm not sure how far it is in the editing process, but it's going to be a big fucking thing when that comes out. So
Get him to fucking come
he'll
on.
be keen. Yeah, all the boys I live with, all the Sheps boys, they all just ride Harleys. They go hard. So
My ultimate is Brian.
Brian.
Is it William? Ryan?
Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
Willie?
That's my old, but he would
Get
never.
him over?
Oh,
He might. No,
would
never say never. Look at you, bro. He might.
He would never. He's so big.
Never say never.
In my world, he's big.
Never say never. He's
It's
awesome.
It's funny watching like how niche people are, because say John Jones, who's in my opinion, like if you're a diehard MMA fan, if I saw John Jones, I would fucking die.
Yeah.
It would be like a casual MMA fan seeing Conor McGregor.
yeah.
Like if I saw John
jerk him
Jones,
off.
I would fucking die. I would jerk him off if he asked. But if he walked through Adelaide Airport, I don't think he would get stopped.
No,
you know
because
what I
no
mean?
one really know unless you knew. Like,
Yeah.
unless you knew.
Like it's a very different.
I'm definitely a middle class MMA fan. You know, like I've watched a lot of UFC, but I only go and watch like some of the big fights.
Like if you saw Max Holloway walking through Adelaide Airport, you'd cum your pants.
Oh,
or Alexander Volkanovski.
Oh, if Volk was there, I would just run up and just be like 100%, you know, for sure.
But
Volk's
not a lot of
massive
people.
thing.
Like I reckon he could walk freely through Adelaide
Easy
Airport.
through, and there'd be like two people in the whole entire airport that would see him, and only one of them would be there at the right time, ready to go for sure.
But it is 2.2 degrees in here.
Yeah.
It is cold.
Before we stop, will you take me to M16 one day?
Will I take you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I listen to all the things and stuff, and I've been like, you know, I've always like lifted
What do you wanna
weights and
do?
training.
Like
I just
jiu-jitsu
want
or-
to, I want to go check it out, see a little bit of jiu-jitsu. I'm ready for something I can do through the winter times where I'm just like
Jiu-jitsu.
not full time like
Jiu-jitsu's
jumping.
the one.
I want to. Oh yeah, I want to go. I want to check it out. So if you take me there, I'll geese it. We'll have a bit of things.
Next Tuesday.
Sweet, done. See you next Tuesday. Yes, gun.
Well, I love you. I'm happy you're alive.
Sweet. So am I.
So am I. It's a pleasure.
Hopefully we can do one more of these.
Vince
and we can still
Jarvis,
get
ladies
on.
and gentlemen.
Thanks
The
everyone for listening, brother.
man.
Cheers, man.